CYBORG, what it look like, man? We back. Hey, yo, man. Inoue is something different, man. The boy only took 4 rounds this time to get rid of Kim, man. And it was just spectacular, man. The dude put on a real serious boxing clinic, man. I've already seen a ton of Inoue fights, man. I'm always like very well pleased with the way this dude performs, man. But this time, I got to give it to him, man. He really did something special with Kim. Not only did he finish the dude off in nothing but 4 rounds, man, but he looked fresh to death after he was done. And I just think, man, he just took a very, in my opinion, a pretty classy fighter, man. Somebody who's like really means business when he gets into the ring. And you know, just like classic Mayweather style, man, this dude, he really made this dude look very average, man. And Kim is no slouch, man. This dude can really throw hands. So, I mean, he's got really good defense, and you know, definitely comes in to put in work. But it was really nice to see, man, just the way that Inoue just you know, made up his mind to get in there and just like outwork this dude at all costs, at all points throughout the fight, man. And he never let up, man. He never really gave Kim an opportunity to settle down, to rest, or to find an opening that he can really work with, you know, at least more than once, you know. So, you know, credit to Inoue, man. Credit to Kim also, man, for showing up, you know, on 2 weeks' notice, man. I think he did a pretty good job as far as defense is concerned. I could see him in the ring with somebody else with, you know, a few notches below Inoue's talent level. Putting on a, you know, a hell of a show, you know what I mean? Somebody who's a little bit more evenly matched with him. I think Inoue is just a couple zip codes removed from this dude, man. This dude is a special kind of fighter, man. He's definitely, you know, oozing with that sort of like once in a generation type of fighter, you know? You know, one of those dudes that just come along and like for the rest of, you know, boxing conversations to be had, his name's gonna come up and it's gonna be held in high regard, you know? I don't really see this dude, you know, not being included in sort of like the biggest fish competitions, you know, or conversations rather yet. You know what I mean? So it was just a marvel to watch, man. Like how well he executed his game plan against Kim, and I think Kim really came to fight, man. This dude, he was game in the little moments where he found, you know, a little glimmer of success. He was definitely egging Inoue on. He's like, you know, come on in, man, come get more of this, you know. Unfortunately for Kim, Inoue was just all too happy to oblige. You know what I mean? This motherfucker's like, hey, I ain't run out of hands, motherfucker. If you want some more, shit, I serve you another cold plate. And he did just that shit, man. The 2 pieces were definitely on the menu. They kept coming. All sorts of combos, man. And what I really found very likable about the way Inoue was dealing with Kim in this case, man, he was having a lot of success headhunting, but when he started like switching levels, man, he did something that's very creative in terms of the level switching. Usually a lot of boxers, you know, they punch high, they punch low, they keep a few stiff jabs to the midsection to kind of confuse the fighter. But I think Kim is a pretty smart fighter, man. He did exemplify some moments of having that, you know, a very keen eye for what Inoue was unloading and unleashing on him. You know what I mean? And in one case, I saw that that Inoue was basically, you know, starting to switch up a bit. He was throwing high, he was throwing low, but then Kim was catching on. So Kim was blocking a lot of these shots, even when Inoue had him cornered. So what Inoue did, instead of like actually punching low or going high, you know, switching it up that way, changing the levels with his hands, he actually started to dip down before he threw the punch, thereby changing the angle that Kim would have to expect him to come from. You know what I mean? Kim had to basically just make up his mind where the punch was going to come from. Because when Inoue is standing straight up, he just has to pay attention to the hands, where they're coming high, they're coming low, and that's a little easier if you catch Inoue's rhythm. It's a little easier to defend. But when Inoue is already bent midway, you don't know if he's gonna stay there or if he's gonna bring the whole body up. It was just a curious way that he really was able to penetrate a few more shots onto Kim by really maneuvering his body to create a little bit more trickery, a little less predictability in which hand he was going to use, or whether he was going to punch low or punch high. It was just a nice tool that he injected into his fight for the night, man. And it worked like a charm on Kim, man, because I think Kim, you know, he basically lost every round in the fight. There's only 4 rounds. He lost all 4 of those rounds, and it was just, I think it was just like a matter of a couple of things. One, it was definitely an output differential. I think Inoue did pretty much all of the heavy lifting. He threw all the punches, all the combinations for the most part. In the instances where Kim was throwing back, he was having some minor, you know, glimmers of success, and he looked good when he was achieving that. But the majority of the fight, I think Inoue managed from the onset to just get Kim in a defensive state, where he was so subjected to, you know, he was so relegated to having to depend on counter punching, because Inoue was bringing so much offense and with so much consistency that Kim had to basically look for opportunities to throw punches back. He was so under fire on a constant basis that he had to look for opportunities to throw fire back. So he couldn't really abandon his defense, otherwise he was just going to get really beat up, which in spite of him losing the fight, I think he didn't really get, you know, he took some heavy hits, and that's what put him down. In a way, you know, he throws everything with a lot of conviction. He believes in every punch. And I think, you know, you get a handful of those shits in the same order, you're definitely going to go down. That's why his knockout percentage is so high. And he has a sort of like a mindset of just knocking your ass out, because he knows that, you know, that's basically the formula. Keep putting that pressure and give you all hard punches to defend from, you know what I mean? And I think Inoue basically, you know, he pretty much chased Kim down so much and stalked him so much that Kim got in the frame of mind of, well, if the punch doesn't hurt, then I'll hit him. Or if he don't hit me with too many combos and dizzy me, then I'll hit him. It was always like the punching in a way became an afterthought to him. Protecting against the punches that were coming in, that was his fixation, you know what I mean? And I think that's why he actually lasted 4 rounds, because he was diligent about his defense. So against a different fighter, I could see Kim looking kind of like superior in a defensive category, you know what I mean? Like I could see, you know, somebody with a lower work rate and with a slightly lower IQ and tone of aggressiveness than Inoue. I could see Kim looking exponentially better as a fighter, man, because he's a really good fighter. The problem is, when you're a great fighter and you're in there with, you know, a marvelous fighter, you know, you just gonna look okay. That's just how it is, man. If you get in there and you try to like outdog somebody like Marvin Hagler, it's probably not gonna happen. If you try to like outpoint somebody like Mayweather, it's probably not gonna happen. If you try to hit somebody more often than they're definitely gonna hit you, you probably don't want to be in there with Shakur Stevenson. You know what I mean? There's a lot of play, you know, fighters in there that you just, there's some things that you're not going to be able to do when you're in the ring with them, because these guys are not operating on a high level. They're operating on a superior level, man. It's higher than high. You know what I mean? As far as the bar is set, you know what I mean? These guys, they're just built different, man. They get shit done a lot more efficiently, and you can't compare them to the average guy that's good or the average guy that is championship ready. You know what I mean? These guys are better than that. They're like literally kind of people that eat champions for food. You know what I mean? These guys, you know, it's just a different class level, man. The performance of Inoue was very emblematic of that. You know, Kim, like I said, this dude is very defensively responsible, but Inoue made that shit not worth a damn, because all it did is make him subscribe to just defending himself. because there was really nothing else he could do because the work rate was too high. Inoue was punishing with almost every blow that he threw. There was no mercy on these punches, man. And Kim did a good job of like playing a gamesman and saying some shit didn't hurt and whatever. But your brain could tell the other man whatever it wants to let out of your mouth. You know what I mean? Use whatever words, but when your body takes a beating, your body's just gonna shut the fuck down, and that's essentially what happened to Kim. But shout out to both of them, man. It's still the Monsters Ball, and anybody who wanted, Inoue said y'all could get it, man. It is what it is. Check y'all next time. Peace.